Hey everybody, it's Christine with Gluten is Gone, and I'm coming to you today again with my parrot Chad. He's kind of pouting in the back, but I just got back from the beach. I went to Hilton Head Island, and that was really fun. And I was just going to kind of talk to everybody a little bit about traveling when you're gluten-free and share my not so great experience from Hilton Head. When you're traveling, you should always pack food to bring with you, even if you think that you're gonna find places, just because there's always a chance that you won't, and then what are you gonna do? You can't always just run to the grocery store and grab stuff and cook it. So when I headed down to Hilton Head, we left in the morning, and I did not bring anything but some cinnamon checks with me, which they're the best gluten-free cereal I've ever found. They taste just like, what's the other cinnamon one? Whatever, that other cinnamon gluten cereal, and they're really, really good. So I had those with me. By the time my boyfriend and I got to Hilton Head, it was 4 o'clock, and all we'd ever had was breakfast. And I had anticipated that in the condo we rented, we'd have good internet service, and we did not, and it was terrible. But I managed to find Urban Spoon on my phone, which I've never had a good experience with Urban Spoon, and this just completely confirms it. Urban Spoon is garbage. Don't use them, especially if you're gluten-free. I've been sent some really bizarro places by Urban Spoon, and I feel like their reviews are always wrong. The restaurants themselves must just go on there and rate themselves really high. But anyways, looked up gluten-free friendly restaurants in the area. There were none. Just a handful, and they were all kind of a decent drive. So I just went with the highest rated one, and it was called the Old Fort Pub. Well, let me just tell you guys, never go to the dang Old Fort Pub. It was the worst food experience. But we had get there right at 5:15 or something. So we're there with all the early birds, and so we were in just our travel clothes, something like this, super casual, comfy, because we did not want to dress up for dinner. So we get in, and we're thinking pub, casual bar, sandwiches. I had called them to make sure they would be gluten-free friendly, and they said they were, but I didn't really ask them much about their, at all about their menu. That was another mistake. When you call and make sure they're gluten-free friendly, ask them about their menu. What is it like, and what are their prices like? Because we stumbled upon a very uppity, upper scale, yeah, whatever, restaurant, and it had these really pretty views, and that was about the only thing it had going for it. And we got a special with a appetizer, meal, and dessert, and it was the early bird special, so it was cheaper because we were gobsmacked by the prices. We just weren't expecting that, and we didn't even dress up or anything, and got our appetizers. My boyfriend got she crab soup. It was terrible, he said. He couldn't even eat it. He said it was just a stick of butter had been melted in there, and he actually got sick from it later. We did do a really funny interview, but anyways, I had a salad. It was terrible. By the time but we didn't say too much to each other about it. We're trying to be optimistic, this expensive meal, because we didn't want to leave because we didn't know where else to go. That was the problem. I hadn't done my research on restaurants, and we had no other alternatives. So that's another tip. 1, pre-research your restaurant. Travel with some food, and when you call a restaurant, ask about menu and prices. So mine was this weird chicken concoction. It was dry. It had these weird roasted fruits around it and some sort of yogurt sauce, I think. I don't know. It was white, and it was on top of this black rice. It was purple. It looked like Barney poop, and it was inedible. I had 2 bites, and it was just, I bursted out laughing, and Lawson's was terrible. He was oh my gosh. And I just busted out laughing because it was so comical. Here we are in this super nice restaurant. We hate the food. We're not even dressed up. It was bad. And it was one of those moments where I was I really just want to dine and ditch right now. But unfortunately, we were very inconveniently located in the restaurant to dine and ditch, literally. because we were there so early and there was like no one there. Another tip, if you show up to a restaurant and there are not very many people there and the ones that are don't look like they love their food, leave. Especially at the beach, like a populated place like that, there should be a lot of people in the restaurant. That was another red flag. And we were gonna have to go by all the wait staff because they were just like standing there, so like we couldn't dine and ditch. It was terrible. Which, that, I don't promote that, but this was like the one time where I was like, seriously? Because our tab ended up being like $60. It was terrible. Because we ordered beach water, which tap water from the beach is terrible. So we got a bottled water. It ended up being like a $7 bottle of water. It was ridiculous. And, so it was a bad experience. We left cranky and hungrier than we were. Well, he left sick and I just left even more hungry. So, lesson learned, when you're traveling, bring food with you so you're not in a huge rush. You don't rush into a place. Pre-research some restaurants so you don't run into a problem like we did. Call the restaurants, find out about their menus, what they're like. And if you go in a restaurant and there aren't very many people in there, when it's, you know, it's one thing if you're in a small town, I guess. But the restaurant's going to be pretty packed if it's a good restaurant. So take that. Learn from my terrible mistakes at the beach. And make sure you subscribe to the blog, Gluten is Gone, and subscribe to the channel. And this is Christine and Chad signing off.